To hunt for evidence of unidentified submerged objects, the team will conduct a grid pattern search using a cutting-edge side-scan sonar. This device is capable of creating a detailed map of the ocean floor in 3 feet of water or 300.
I'm just watching a 3D, so it's sand and hard bottom right here. And I'm looking for any kind of metal object of any kind or anything like that, you know, something that looks different.
Oh, here we go. 10, 11, 13, 14, 15.
Look how far that goes
Just
down.
me crisp, yo.
14, 21, 22. It's just dropping straight off to the bottom.
So we were out there doing a sonar search. Nothing, nothing, nothing. Then all of a sudden, wham! We get a sharp drop off, goes all the way down.
28, 29, 30, 31, straight off.
That got me really, really excited.
Yeah, that is insane. Just drops off like that.
All right, we're starting to come up the other side here. Here's the other wall coming right up. Came right back up the wall. We're back up in 3 feet of water.
We just found a hole in the ocean.
You couldn't explain it. It literally was just like a shaft going straight down in the middle of a 6-foot flat. Nowhere have I seen that in all my years under the water.
You want to turn around and take another look?
Yeah, definitely.
The team has discovered what appears to be a 30-foot deep hole or shaft in the ocean floor. Repeated passes from other angles indicate that it is approximately 45 feet long by 45 feet wide, with straight edges and a flat bottom.
I think it's time to get wet.
Being an amputee and a prosthetic user, I can still do pretty much everything that I did before. In 2003, went overseas to a fine place called Baghdad. I hit a 155-pound IED, and it blew my truck up. I knew that life had changed instantly for me, but just kept going.
One, two, three.
All right, we're skimming down the wall. This ledge is pretty much straight up and down. Copy?
Copy, straight up and down.
I don't know if it's man-made or not, but just to find something like this is pretty mysterious, you know, out in the middle of the ocean.
Kind of cut straight down and like somebody or something dug out on the inside.
Maybe some place to hide.
Big enough that you could hide a school bus.
What it looked like to me was, it looked like somebody actually cut out a big square hunk of planet. Who knows, it could be a project of some kind, a tunnel, a mine, but it's definitely not put there by nature. Nature doesn't do that.
All right, outside, we just made it to the bottom.
Copy, you've made it to the bottom.
This is deep, fellas. This is deep. Diver one, I'm telling you, this is not really cool down here, over. That's one way to put it. Outside, we're gonna videotape down here and see what we got later.
So we decided to put up a trail cam because it's the best way to see if anything's coming in and out of there.
But if you think of it, it's a great place to hide. Sean, you good? Everything looks good to go. We are coming up, copy?
Roger that. Here we go. They're back.
He's just gonna walk over.
Oh, there's something weird down there, brother.
Yeah?
I ain't seen it before.
Definitely not acts of nature.
Yeah?
It looks like a cheese cutter just came down and just hacked it off.
It was definitely not nature. Nature didn't make it. It had to be something made, man-made, alien-made, something else made this. It's literally like a square here, and you go about 40, 50 feet, and there's another square.
And nature don't do that, not with a straight eye.
No. So literally something could disappear up in there.
We did.
Yeah.
But gentlemen, if you wanted to find something, that's what we wanted to find. That's insane.
Nice dive, guys.
What do you think it would take to construct something like that?
It would be quite an endeavor.
10 a.m. For the past 3 days, the Trig team has been researching possible explanations for the underwater shaft, and they're still on the hunt for answers.
would definitely have to have a serious barge out there with some sort of a backhoe. You're talking about busting through limestone.
A couple of days ago, we went out and put an underwater trail cam into the shaft that we located. But when we went out to retrieve it and view the video, all we saw was bubbles and fish.
Back in the day, you know, of course they used to use dynamite, but dynamite wouldn't leave you squared off shafts.
No. That being said, that's part of the investigation. You don't get what you want, you get what you get. Today we're going to meet with a guy named Mike Barra, who's a Bermuda Triangle expert.
Hey, Mike.
How are you?
And see if he can give us anything that might result in a lead. So we met this witness up in Biscayne Bay, and he said he saw some lights circling around his boat. We went to the location, dove the spot, and the location he was at, we found a shaft that goes down into the bedrock.
Right in the same area where this guy witnessed this light.
Yeah.
Amazing. It's almost as if you guys found some sort of operational facilities under the water where these unidentified submerged objects, these USOs, operate from.
What do people think these things are?
So there's all kinds of theories. There are people that think that there are alien bases operating in the Bermuda Triangle. The other possibility is that the lost continent of Atlantis, the ancient civilization, is actually somewhere in the Bermuda Triangle, and in fact that these USOs are like automated defense forces, defense devices that still exist that are just making sure you're not there to cause any trouble.
One of the things that Mike told us was possible theory is Atlantis is in the Bermuda Triangle. I don't know if I can put a whole lot of stock in that explanation. I mean, I find it kind of hard to believe that an ancient civilization has technology that's jacking with us today. So what do you think about the military being a solution to some of these questions? Because one thing I know that the military does is they don't divulge their secrets a whole lot.
I think that's interesting. However, if you were in the military and you had this technology, are you going to show it off by buzzing around somebody's fishing trawler in the middle of Biscayne Bay?
Chuck's theories on these USO is that they're military. But Mike had a real valid point, that the military likes to keep their things secret. So running out around a dinner cruise just isn't really keeping it secret. That's almost taunting.
It also doesn't explain Christopher Columbus. We did not have this military technology back in those days, and there are other reports from many other ships through the years when we clearly did not have that type of technology at the time. So I have a tendency to think that the root source of these encounters has got to be something alien.
Oh, wow.
The question is, what's the purpose of it all?
So we had a good meeting with Mike, and he gave us a lot of useful information about USOs. Most of them don't seem that credible to me, so I don't know if we're any closer to finding the answer than we were before. We just got to keep investigating.